The metric system, capacity. Capacity is how much a container holds. The volume of something is the length by the width by the depth. Now, when we look at a cube, we can see how long it is from top to bottom, how wide it is from side to side, and how deep it is from front to back. So if you turned it on its side, you would still be able to see it. There's like a depth there. So volume is how many of these cubes, you might even hear people say cc's, they mean cubic centimeters, it takes to fill up a container. So both of these things have to do with how much will fit in a container. The unit used in the metric system for capacity is called liter. You might see it spelt like this, or you might see it spelt like this. The most common thing we use here, or we talk about liters for, is liters of pop. So, but when we get a liter of pop, it's not just 1 liter, it's 2. So half a bottle would be 1 liter. But I have a picture of that because that's probably the most common thing that we have. Now, a kiloliter would be like 1,000 liters or 500 bottles of pop. And so I have this picture of this swimming pool. This is about a kiloliter of liquid, and in this case, it's just water. It doesn't always have to be liquid that you are measuring capacity for. You could have sand, you could have how much rice fits, how much corn fits, and so on. So it doesn't always have to be liquid. Some smaller measurements are the milliliter. You see how small this dot is here? The centiliter, which is a little bit bigger. Here's a liter. Now, a bottle of water is about a liter of liquid. And then again, here I have this kiloliter here. So we have our metric chart here. And so again, in the middle, I'm going to write liters because that is the unit of measure. Filling in our metric chart, which is very much like our place value chart, I can go all the way over here and fill in kiloliters. And I can spell it either way. We have hectoliters, and I'm not going to put the suffix on everyone, you know what I mean. There's decaliters. It's very much the same. Our liters, we have deciliters, centiliters, and milliliters. Probably the two most popular used here, or the three. We use liters. You might see milliliters, especially when you're talking about liquid medicine or drops that you have to take. A lot of times hospitals will use the metric system. And you have kiloliters. All of these have abbreviations. If you see KL, that means kiloliters. If you see L, that means liters. If you see ML, that means milliliters. And I guess you can guess. If I see CL, that's centiliters, DL, deciliters. A lot of times, deciliters will use a DK and then an L, and then you have hectoliters, but those aren't used quite as much. So if I wanted to convert, I'd use the same system that we've been using in our chart. Say, for instance, I had 1 or 2 kiloliters, and I wanted to figure out how many liters was in that. I would just simply fill in until I got to the liters. And now I can see that 2 kiloliters equals 2,000 liters. It's kind of the same concept as you would use if you were doing meters or if you were working with grams to convert them and try to figure out. So on your homework tonight, even though the unit is different, the concept is the same. So if it's asking you, if it wants to subtract 2 kiloliters minus 300 liters, well then I would just convert my kiloliters into liters so that I could subtract 2,000 liters minus 300 liters would give me the answer there. And so when you're asked what you're supposed to do tonight, You are going to tell them that you are asked to solve the problem, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to solve for leaders. All right, that is metric system.